Hey, Bob Gardner here from LiberatedMan.com here. Quick today. Okay, so for this thing, I want to just tell you about what happened when I went on a date with my wife last night. We're on our way home. We're driving down the freeway. We get off the freeway and we come down these little side streets to come home. And as we get to a certain four-way stop, I'm talking to my wife and I flip on the blinker. So we get to the stop and she looks at me kind of funny, and then I just keep going and she's like, "Were you intending to turn?" And I was like, nope, I just, just testing you with the blinker on and everything else. And so I'm just sitting there considering this, and I thought, this is a really powerful message. I considered all the habits that I have of all the times that I say I'm gonna turn and I don't actually turn. How many times have you, just like me, been to a seminar, been to a training program, been to something that you hoped would change your life, something that you hoped would give you the solutions that you already have inside you, but somehow unlock it from you or something and just magically transform your life? And so you go, and in the heat of the moment, you make all of these commitments. You turn your blinker on, and it's go time. And you get to the stoplight, but then you don't actually turn the wheel. And so what happens is your momentum and all of your old habits just keep you driving, and you just drive your old way back home instead of going the direction that you, in the heat of the moment, said that you would go. And this happens to me all the time. This is why the way I built the program for recovery with Liberated Man is built upon the idea that you don't move further until you've done the next step. It's not this content delivery system that says, oh, okay, now here's the next piece of content on a drip system. This is literally customized one by one, step by step. You do step one, and until you do step one, we can't go to step two. And this is why it's designed that way, because I don't want people turning on their blinker by saying, I'm going to buy into this program, it's going to change my life, and then not actually turning the wheel. The whole point is to get them to turn the wheel, not to make them feel good about having turned on their blinker just one and turned it into a nice joke. And remember that one time when I went there and I did this one thing. That's not what this is about. This is about real, powerful life change. Now consider this. A lot of times they come home and I have this idea in marriage. I want to adjust my relationship with my wife. I want to be a little bit more kind in the way that I say something. And so I turn on the blinker in my mind. I say, yes, I'm going to do that. But until I turn the wheel, until I pick some very specific item, some very specific thing that I'm going to actually turn the wheel on, nothing happens. It's easy. It's so easy to flip on a blinker. It's just a flip of the fingers. And that's exactly what it's like when you make commitments in church, when you make commitments in your relationships, when you make commitments in business, into yourself, in diets and exercise. I mean, we do it every year, in January, right? We make all these commitments, and then sometimes we even look and we check our lanes, but we swerve a little bit. We don't actually turn. We don't actually change lanes. We don't actually shift anything. And it's because, most of the time, it's because we haven't gotten specific enough about what exactly we're doing. A lot of times we leave church and we're like, I need to be more charitable. That is not specific enough to really change your life, other than something to keep in the back of your mind, which may over time gnaw at you. In order to really change your life, what has to happen is that you have to drill it down to something very specific. Really? Where in your life are you not being charitable? What does charity actually mean for you? Oh, well, it means this. Okay, so in what part of your life are you not doing that? Well, I'm not actually being charitable when it comes to how I deal with my kids. See, I expect them to clean up their room, but then I leave a mess in my room, and I'm expecting them to behave somewhat differently, and I'm holding them to a different standard. Oh, great. Okay, so how am I going to be more charitable in this situation? Well, either I'm going to start living up to the standard that I set so my kids don't feel like it's unfair, or I'm going to sit down with them and help recognize what's going on. This is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go talk to my kids, and I'm going to tell them, look what I just noticed about the way that I'm treating you. And I just want you to know that I still believe in the standard that I set, that it's important to clean things up, but I recognize that I don't always do it all the time either. So what I'm going to try to do is live up to that standard myself. And will you help me, and I'll try to help you also live up to it, so that we can experience the joys of order. This is what it means to take a little blinker turn, which is be more charitable, and actually make it real in your life. Okay, and when it comes to addiction recovery, this needs to happen. There have to be specific items that you do, because if you don't do them, it's over. You think about it, it makes you feel really good for a little bit, and then that's it. No amount of turning on your blinker is going to change your life. No amount of turning on your blinker is going to turn your car. No amount of thinking about turning on your blinker is going to turn on your blinker or turn your car. You actually have to turn on the wheel. It does help if there's power steering in your car because it's easier to turn the wheel rather than the old-fashioned way where you just have to keep cranking. But either way, you got to turn the wheel.